It was in the year 2001 in September on the 5th when I got a phone call from a friend of mine who's a nursing sister. She called me about a house in Ikageng, and where it was 3 kids who had lost their father in the year 1999 and were staying with a terminally sick mother. And they had not been going to school for 7 months. Like the last time that they went to school was somewhere in April. And then she said to me, I don't know what is it that you can do, but those kids need help. So I set them around and said to them, are they aware that their mother is quite sick? And they said, yes, but there's nothing else that they can do from the fact that they hardly have money to call the ambulance. So I called the ambulance. She was picked up. But 2 days afterwards, I got a call from the hospital that the mother had passed away. And then my first reaction was that, what am I going to do? And, like maybe I should just run away and forget about those kids. But I had to go back to them and relate the news. And the boy, the eldest son, said to me, we have nothing. And I said, do you have any relatives around? They said, no, we don't. And then the story got published, and the response was quite good in the sense that City Funerals came in and said, we'll bury, the Department of Education said to me, as soon as the schools reopen, the kids can be taken back to school. Some people came over and bought them clothing, and it was, she got a nice send off, the First Lady was there, Zola Squia was there, Nkosazana Zuma was there as well, and then I thought that was it. And then 2 days down the line, Dr. Agri-Cluster gave me a call and said, I need to speak to you. And he said to me, since that story appeared in the newspaper, we have had so many calls, like 32 kids who actually had called to say we are in the same plight, like the same kids who appeared in the newspaper. Can something be done about it? Out of the story, like 79 kids came over, and then Cluster called me again and said, maybe you need to follow your heart, maybe this is where you need to go. And then by then I had actually resigned from my work, and I took it on board, and the whole thing started. And that has grown to the amount of kids that we have right now. I think things are quite difficult, in the work that we do. Like sometimes we don't want to wake up, and sometimes we feel like, the problem is enormous. The challenges are enormous. But I think what actually motivates me to go up in the morning is that when I imagine all 900 kids going to school, properly uniformed, with their bags on, and to know that I actually was part of that. I was part of the little difference that actually has happened in their lives. My plan for this year is that by the end of the year, each and every of those kids would actually have something that they call their home, and take them from the abusive situations that they stay in, and they have something, at least something, a shelter, a roof above their heads that will say, this is my home and this is where I belong. And I think that would make a whole lot of difference. Joseph is a 19-year-old boy who gathered together all of his cousins after his family unit disintegrated. In the space of 4 months, they had buried 7 family members, and they have pulled together as a family.
Dear Mr. Dark, my cousins, brothers and sisters would like to thank you for your generous Christmas gift of 50 Rand each. Since all of our parents died, we decided to live together under one roof and help each other. Things have been very tough, so you can imagine how excited we were when you wanted to give us 50 Rand each to spend for Christmas. We decided to pull all our money and buy Kiriwene a pair of shoes because she didn't have any. It was also Kumo's birthday last week, and we decided to buy her a skate and a top. It was the first birthday without her mother. Mr. Dark, I will never forget that Christmas. We all got presents. But mostly, Mr. Dark, I was impressed with you, a powerful and important businessman who has used his power to help me and my community. I want to study hard at school and go to university. I hear there is a good school called Harvard, so I can become a powerful businessman and help my community.